Good afternoon, Mr. Skelly. How are you today, mate?
Not too bad, thank you. A little bit deflated, anxious, but I'm ready to get back on the pitch.
Glad to hear your enthusiasm. I will most definitely help you where I can to lift your spirits and most importantly, your performance.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Skelly. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Why are you here today? Competitive histories, injuries. Tell me a little about yourself, mate.
Yeah, so my name's John O'Skelly. As you know, I'm in my mid-20s. I've been a professional football player in the English Premier League for Liverpool Football Club for the last 3 years. So I've been fluctuating between reserves and starting 11. The pressure can take its toll on me. I play within the midfield, controlling movement along the pitch, although I specialise in free kick taking. I've always had a clear head and a solid right foot until around 6 months ago. I was given the opportunity to take the lead with a game-winning shot from a free kick in the FA Cup semi-final. Upon my run-up, everything felt good until I placed my left foot next to the ball to balance myself, line up for the shot. My left foot rolled, I rolled my ankle, resulting in a minor tear. Meanwhile, I took the shot off balance, falling over and completely missing the shot. I was instantly taken off the field due to injury. We ended up losing in penalties, so not only did I let myself down, but also the team. So coming back into training, my coach and fitness staff won't deem me match fit unless I can improve my free kick taking, which is the only thing holding me back at the moment.
I see. Well, perhaps we can start this session off with you informing me a bit about your needs and goals.
Yeah, so my main priority is to be listed as match fit. So to be back on the starting lineup or play some reserve games to get back into some good form, hopefully within the next few weeks to months. To get there, I need to overcome my anxiety I suffer from my incident, which was just recently mentioned. So every time I line up to take my free kicks, as I normally would have before, I vision my incident so quickly. My breathing becomes out of time, a little uncontrollable, and when I run up for the ball, my vision becomes slightly blurry and I restrain myself from fully supporting my body with my left foot and leg, throwing me off around 60% of the time in training. So I need your help to get me back into my old stride and positive thinking. I know I'm asking for a lot in such a short time, but do you have any suggestions? I think this might be a bit too much for me to pull off so soon.
I have some ideas coming to mind. Can you enlighten me on what you mean by this goal being too much to pull off?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been able to get over this incident even though it happened 6 months ago. I'm not feeling too confident that I'll ever get over it anytime soon. So my injuries have healed and I'm still in great shape. I feel like the more I'm on the bench and the more I'm pushed aside, I'm losing my future. It's just that every time I go to take a free kick and I get back onto my stride, I'm afraid that my left foot is going to roll and this time cost me my whole career. I can't take shots like I used to anymore. I was renowned for my set piece play and free kicks. The fear of it happening again, it just thrives on my anxiety.
Alright. Just taking down some notes and really trying to understand the depths of your problem. I can see that within today's consultation we will focus on one psychological skill. From my observation, from what you just described to me in our conversation, specifically the key word of anxiety, we will focus on that today. Firstly, let's focus on trying to understand what anxiety is and how it may impact your free kick taking and set piece plays. First of all, anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness or unease in relation to a scenario of unfolding events, internally and externally. Anxiety can be divided into two components, cognitive and somatic anxiety. Cognitive anxiety refers to that is thought upon, for example, worrying or having negative expectations about performance or the task at hand. Whereas somatic anxiety refers to that is felt, the physical manifestation of an athlete's perception of the physiological effect that anxiety autonomically arouses at any time prior, during, and post-performance, causing unpleasant feelings of nervousness and tension. It is critical for athletes to ensure that they are able to control their anxiety in order to perform at their peak. Anxiety is looked upon as such a negative thing sometimes, when in all seriousness, it actually isn't that bad if controlled and utilized correctly. Some theorists and psychologists believe and have found that if anxiety is utilized properly, it can potentially enhance performance.
Oh, okay. You must be the real deal. So, just from what you know, could you also tell me how much my anxiety influences my performance?
When we take into consideration your background, injury, and expectations about being deemed match fit, I strongly believe that getting over this is make or break for you within your career. Anxiety is challenging to overcome, With the more pressure you apply to yourself, the more anxiety you're likely to experience. Prior to your injury, you're on the starting 11 of a professional team. Not only do you have high expectations, yet also does your coach and your teammates. This is why you may feel anxiety, as you have a lot to lose. Despite all of this, throughout your career you have shown everyone that you are a capable athlete when it comes to performing, especially under the pressure. You will show enthusiasm and determination in wanting to be able to perform at the level you once achieved. That's why I believe the goals you have set for yourself are quite realistic. My only concern is that constant worry you embed about your injury within taking your free kicks. The fear of failing again. This is often defined as maladaptive perfectionism, which will and has been affecting your confidence in trainings and performance. Is there any more other questions you'd like to say before we continue on with the session?
No, I'm all good. I'm ready to hear what you've got to say.
Performance. Sound cool?
Yeah, sounds great.
So, through my studies and experiences, I've come to believe that one very effective way of reducing anxiety and improving performance is through a mental technique called dynamic visualization. We'll start off with visualization. Visualization is a mental skill of picturing and playing a successful version of the game or moment in your mind before it happens. Now, dynamic visualization is pretty much the same, except that as you improve at the skill you're visualizing, you're also changing your visualization image to continue that improvement, such as adding curl to the ball in your visualization. That opposed to static visualization, which is replaying the same image every time, which according to studies is more effective for amateurs, but not as effective as dynamic visualization is for professionals such as yourself. Just so you know, it's been stated that dynamic visualizations are the obvious choice for training in team ball sports, such as soccer. Even Wayne Rooney uses the technique, where he says, "I always like to picture the game the night before and visualize it. It removes doubt from my mind." So that's what I want from you. I think this will really help improve your game and remove that anxiety. How's that sound so far, man?
Yeah, it sounds really good. It's also good to know that other players of my level are using this technique. I'm excited to get back on track.
So, Mr. Skelly, have you heard of the SMART goal principle before?
No, I haven't. What's it for?
So it's used for setting goals and will be very useful as you're training full-time at the moment, and we need to plan that will fit with your lifestyle. So what it stands for is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So this is what we want our goals to look like for you. Now at the moment, percentage-wise, how many free kicks do you score, and where would you like to be at in 2 months with pre-season tournament beginning soon?
At the moment, I think I'm only scoring between 40 and 60%, generally on the lower part. So I think I'd like to get it back up to where I was last season, where I was converting around 75 to 80%.
Awesome. So straight away, we've hit all of those 5 sections being measurable because it's done by percentage, time-bound, or within the next 2 months, specific and relevant, relates straight to your skill and attainable goals, something you've achieved before. Now, another little skill I would like you to do on top of your visualization is a pre-performance routine. Pre-performance routines have been shown to greatly help with athletes suffering from anxiety. Basically, what a pre-performance routine is anything specifically done exactly the same way before a particular game or skill. So what that can look like for you can simply be how many steps you take leading up to the ball on a free kick, similar to how Ronaldo always stands the same amount of steps away during his free kicks. Or it can be something different like running your hand through your hair. I'd like you and your coach to work on one of those. Does that sound doable?
Yeah, it does. Me and my coach have a pretty good relationship, and I'm sure he'd be willing to help me figure out a pre-performance routine for my free kicks.
That's great. Good to know that you have a positive relationship with your coach. That can be very influential when it comes to your anxiety.
Yeah, thanks for everything. I'm so excited to get back out there on the pitch and use the techniques you've shown me. I think that both the visualization and pre-performance routines will help a lot. I think that the visualization technique will be able to help me remove those images of my injury that keep popping up into my head just before my free kick, and that the pre-performance routine will really help me calm down and slow my heart rate more. And I'll definitely be able to talk to my coach about the pre-performance routine and set up something that works for me.
Well, that's great, Jono. I'll see you next week,
Right, see you,
and we
man.
can work